The following is a presentation of Radio Alabama Sports. This broadcast is copyrighted by Radio Alabama for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of the game without Radio Alabama's consent is strictly prohibited.
Live from Booker's Barbecue in Sylacauga, this is the Aggie Sports Network Final Four Tip-Off Party, presented by Toyota of Sylacauga, where they're worth the drive and they'll prove it. Online at toyotaofsylacauga.com. Wall-to-wall Final Four coverage on the Aggie Sports Network is presented by Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, where you belong.
Another year, another Final Four tip-off party live at Booker's Barbecue. This is the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network. Jeremy Law and Michael Adair with you from 5:30 to 6:30. We're going to have a fun show lined up for everybody who is here in the house at Booker's Barbecue as Sylacauga back in the Final Four. They will play Guntersville at 4:30 on Wednesday at Legacy Arena. Our coverage on the Aggie Sports Network will begin at 3:30 live in studio with David McCurley and Michael Giddens before they throw it to me and Alex Bauman, Michael Adair at Legacy Arena, where the Aggie Sports Network will actually be allowed to broadcast from Legacy Arena for the first time. Weren't able to do that last year, but this year we will be live on location. The call on Mix 106.5 and, of course, the Allen Brew Market courtside cam going to be set up and ready to go for everybody if you cannot make the trip. Again, a 4:30 tip-off against the Guntersville Wildcats. They come out of the Northwest region, the Aggies Central Regional Champions, where they won the region by a combined 55 points in the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. Michael Adair, let's throw it back to Montgomery at the Acadome. That really saw the Aggies dominate two River Region teams, Elmore County and Marbury, to get back to the Final Four.
I mean, it's really the largest margin of victory we've seen down there since we've been doing this since, maybe 2016 or 17 we started doing that. Just felt like that we were just in control and dominated both games in Montgomery and the games before that, even in the region and the sub-state game. I just felt like Sylacauga was too much for anyone.
Corbin Patterson got us started in both of those games from behind the three line. He finished that Marbury game as the team's leading scorer, 16 points. Tristan Whetstone in double figures. C.J. Franklin, 10 points, 7 assists. Eric O'Neal pulled down about 15 rebounds in that game. So did Tristan Whetstone and Josh Spear. Just an overall team win against Marbury that really saw the Aggies, for the first time it felt like in a while, outside of the Elmore County game, really assert their dominance, and the athleticism of the Aggies really showed up in Montgomery. And I think some teams in Birmingham might ought to be worried about that a little bit, with Sylacauga playing really good basketball right now.
Well, they've had to worry about it for a long time because we lead with defense. And when you play defense at the level we play it makes it so that you're going to be in every game you play. These last 4, 5, 6 games, the offense has come around on another level. So, when you're clicking like that on defense and your offense is scoring like that, it's you're really hard to deal with. And we got some good teams ahead of us that are going to be clicking on both sides too. So we got a couple good games coming up, hopefully.
Back in the Final Four are the Aggies, but I'm not sure how rare or I guess unrare this is. But 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four last year in Class 5A back in Birmingham. Right. Sylacauga, Winona, Guntersville. The only team not back is the reigning 5A champion, the Viger Wolves. There's a lot of teams in this tournament left in 5A, Michael, with deep postseason experience, and they all 3 tasted defeat last year, and you better believe they all 3 want to win it.
Oh, yeah, there's 4 good teams in Birmingham in 5A, and it's just going to be exciting to see. These are teams that play different styles. The style we play is a lot different than the style Guntersville plays, and the style Winona plays. So it's going to be fun to see how this shakes out, and I just like the fact that our team is playing at the level we're playing, and it feels like we're getting better as the season goes on. And in basketball, you want to peak at the right time. You don't want to peak early. you want to get better as the season goes on. That's what we've done, and that's a reflection of good coaching too.
And I heard Mayor Matt Hubbard mention that stat when he came in. I do want him to know I did my homework. We both knew that stat coming into today, but we can give the mayor some credit. But Sylacauga looking at Guntersville, Michael Adair, it seems like we just tipped off this season a couple weeks ago. Well, 3 months have passed, and Sylacauga started off really hot. A little lull in the season, if you can call it that. Just 2 losses for the Aggies, 29-2. But what did we learn about Sylacauga coming out of the regional tournament with how well they're playing?
Man, I don't know that we learned a lot. I mean, we already knew that we were elite on defense and we had the ability to outscore people. And, I mean, we went down there and, that Marbury game, they were a good team, and we just blew them out of the water. So I think if you pull anything away from that, we learned that we can play with anybody, and we're not going to be worried about anybody. We're not going to back down from anyone.
How about the ability to turn it on when it mattered the most in elimination games? Sylacauga, can't even remember the final score versus Jemison. It was a lot to a little, and in these last 2 games. What about the ability for the Aggies to turn it on when it matters most and take care of business?
Well, this team we have has a group of winners. They've been winners since they were kids, and when you play against people like that, they're going to find a way to win, and they're not going to be denied. And they can get down 6, 8, 10 points, and in their minds, they know they're going to win the game. So when you're playing against that, you got an uphill battle.
Were you there on Thursday, Tuesday?
I was having to watch remotely.
Got it. Well, if you watched it remotely, you saw a moment in that game where it set into the Marbury Bulldogs that the Aggies were just a better ball club. With about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, they looked up. Every time they hit a shot, we'd come back down and hit another one. And you just looked at Marbury, and they just kind of realized they couldn't win that game. Just speaks to the dominance of what the Aggies did in Montgomery.
It does, and a lot of teams this year, they think they need to play us in the zone. And when we're faced with that and we come down and we can shoot the ball that well from outside, the zone's not the answer. And that we've been able to not necessarily force them out of zones at times because people just don't want to give up on it, but if you're hitting from 3, sitting in the zone is just not going to slow you down.
Yes, Sylacauga nearly 45% from 3 against Marbury. They were around 40% for the regional tournament. I had to text Coach Patterson on, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and ask where's that been for Corbin, because he is absolute money from deep. Yeah. If the Aggies shoot the 3 ball that well, and Coach Jones has said this tons of times, if they start knocking down shots, they're really hard to beat. They can set up, get in their press. Marbury, again, I think they were 13-plus turnovers in that game. I know the Aggies like to force 3 or 4 per quarter. They got to a point where they couldn't handle the basketball, and then that's when everything really set in for the Aggies, turning defense into offense. And then, again, a 30-point win in an Elite 8 game in a regional final is not heard of.
No, it really isn't. And, you're talking about Corbin. Corbin has been one of our best defensive players for 2 years. And one of the stats that you track in basketball is called plus minus, how much you're giving up on the defensive side as a defensive player and how much you're scoring on offense. And when he's coming around on offense, his plus minus is off the chart. It really is.
Every player for the Aggies was in the positive against Marbury. Every player for even
plus minus.
Yeah, even Trotter for Marbury was in the minus. So that tells you a lot. And Trotter had 18 of their 40. If it weren't for him, that thing could have gotten a little sideways a little bit earlier. We're going to take our first break here of the ASN Final Four tip-off party. When we come back, Coach Jones is staring at us. You think he's ready to go?
Oh, he was born ready.
We'll get Coach Joel Jones on the other side of this break. We got a lot in store for you tonight here on the Final Four tip-off party presented by Toyota of Sylacauga.
This is Don Carton, President and CEO of Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union. Congratulations to the Sylacauga Aggies. Your hard work, discipline, and teamwork represent our community the right way. Keep competing and finish strong. Go Aggies.
At Allen Brew Markets, we're proud to call this community home. Every day, we bring you great service, quality products, and the convenience you deserve. From morning coffee to late-night fill-ups, we're always here when you need us. Allen Brew Markets, your hometown convenience store, your hometown pride. And when it comes to serving our neighbors, we're all in with Allen.
You're all in with Allen, oh yeah. Allen Brew Markets. Have you been in a car accident? That soreness and stiffness can set in fast. At Broadway Spinal Care, we work with all major motor vehicle insurance providers, and in many cases, your care may cost you nothing out of pocket. Our goal is to help you heal quickly so you can get back to feeling like yourself again. Call Broadway Spinal Care today at 256-861-8546 to schedule your appointment and start your road to recovery.
I'm Chris Kane, and for our family here at Toyota of Sylacauga, it's about more than cars. It's about people. You'll find my wife, my kids, even my dog here some days, because this is where we've built something special. When you buy from us, you're not just getting a vehicle, you're becoming part of the family. Toyota of Sylacauga, worth the drive, and we'll prove it. Online at toyotaofsylacauga.com.
Turn up your taste buds at La Costa Mexican Restaurant in downtown Sylacauga. The grill's hot and the flavors are bold. From sizzling fajitas and street-style tacos to creamy queso and fresh-made salsa. Bring the family, grab friends, or make it your lunch break. Portions are generous, prices friendly, and the service always welcoming. Step into a colorful, lively atmosphere and leave full and happy. La Costa Mexican Restaurant, downtown Sylacauga's spot for real flavor. Stop in and taste the fiesta.
Cold and flu season is here, but Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga has you covered. From cough and cold medicine to fever relief, vitamins, and immune support, they have everything you need to feel better fast. Skip the lines and use their quick and convenient drive-through window to get in and out with ease. Friendly service, trusted care, and hometown convenience all in one place. Transfer your prescription to Marble City Pharmacy today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
When injury slows you down, trust Todd Malone and the caring team at Star Physical Therapy. As owner and lead physical therapist, Todd has built a reputation for helping patients recover quickly, safely, and with confidence. Whether you're dealing with a sports injury, surgery recovery, or everyday aches and pains, you'll find personalized care that gets you moving again. At Star Physical Therapy, it's not just about treatment. It's about helping you live life fully. Star Physical Therapy, where you're always treated like a star.
Every championship season starts with a game plan. At Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, we believe your financial future deserves a winning playbook. This is Don Carden, President and CEO of Coosa Pines FCU. From checking and savings to loans, our team is ready to help you execute the right plays. When you bank with Coosa Pines, you're not just an account number, you're part of a team. Let's build your financial victory together. Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, where you belong, member NCUA, equal housing lender. This is Don Carden, President and CEO of Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union. Congratulations to the Sylacauga Aggies. Your hard work, discipline, and teamwork represent our community the right way. Keep competing and finish strong. Go Aggies.
Welcome back to the Aggie Sports Network Final Four Tip-Off Party, presented by Toyota of Sylacauga, where they're worth the drive and they'll prove it. Wall-to-wall Final Four coverage on the Aggie Sports Network is presented by Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, where you belong.
We do want to thank Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, Toyota of Sylacauga, for making a lot of our coverage happen. I know Coosa Pines and Toyota of Sylacauga take a great deal of pride in high school sports and supporting high school athletes, and we're super excited that they're along for the ride right here.
I'll tell you who else we want to thank is Miss Bookers. This meal she fixed tonight. She gave everybody a good deal. The place is packed, and it's just outstanding hospitality we're having here with both her and I see Pat over there. He was serving everyone drink. He's a guy of service. Pat, Where'd you go? He was over here, but
he's offered me a drink about 10 times. I just don't want to spill it on all this equipment here.
Yeah.
As, it's just a fun environment here at Booker's Barbecue. We were able to do this last year. A little colder outside last year when we did this. We got the door open today, but always great food and always a great time at Booker's Barbecue. Our coverage plans on Wednesday will start at 3:30 on Mix 106.5 with the courtside countdown. David McCurley and Michael Giddens will go live at 3:30. They'll hand it off to us around 4:20 at Legacy Arena, where we will bring you one of the first ever local radio broadcasts of the Final Four in about the last 15 or so years. So super excited about that. You got to know people to get those types of things done. So we weren't able to do it last year. We will be live on location with the broadcast. So your hometown crew calling the Aggies on Wednesday against the Gunnersville Wildcats. Tip-off set for 4:30. Joined by one of the men of the hour. We always like to grab Coach Jones first when we do one of these things. Coach Joel Jones is, it feels like 102 in 2 seasons as a Sylacauga basketball
pretty
coach.
Close to right.
The guy hasn't lost very many games. 29-2 on the season are his Sylacauga Aggies. Coach, now that we're back in the Final Four, the only person that tried to jinx us all year is sitting to my left right here, Michael Adair.
It didn't happen.
Coming off of the way things ended last year, it's such a mountain to climb to be able to get back. When did you know that you had a team that could get back, and how big of a relief was it on Tuesday when you knocked off Marbury to cement your spot back in the Final Four here?
You know, my approach is always just unsure, don't know, the unknown. Again, you go back to leaving that arena last year, very, very upset, negative, or whatever you want to say. And it's not something that happens just that day. Mm-hmm. Every day of my life since then, I'm waking up and thinking about getting back to Birmingham. And I've also worked hard enough. I've tried to do everything humanly possible for us to get back there. And for it to all come together, it's just an awesome feeling. It really is.
Speaking of the work that you've done and you know, getting the team to this point, Coach, one of the things that you're really big on, you've always been big on even before you were the coach, is strength training and lifting and conditioning. Talk a little bit about what the team does. They even lift during the season. Talk a little bit about the weightlifting program that you have and, you know, how you think that contributes to, you know, being able to push through and still be pretty healthy this far in the season.
First of all, you know, the weight room is very important to our basketball program. Our preseason workout was a very grueling time of the season, preseason, and we were led by Tristan Whetstone and Eric O'Neal. They were the 2 seniors in our preseason workout class, and the other guys played football, so they got their strength training across the street. Coming into the season, I've never done it in my career as a coach. We instilled weightlifting every chance we could when we could throughout the season. In fact, the last thing we did today was we went in the weight room and we hit the weights, and they got dressed and they came up here. And I asked the guys, even the football players, what do they think about us lifting? Has it been good for them? And they all said, hey, it's been great. So we're not only an athletic team, we're strong as well.
Well, you know, a lot of college, like Alabama, Nate Oates, for example, they lift after every game, you know. So it's a lot of people don't associate lifting with basketball, but you know how important it is, and, you know, you can see and how these kids are responding throughout the season. But another thing you're big on is running and being in good condition. Now, the rumor is that you ran a team at halftime one time. Is that true?
Not true.
Not true? Oh, man.
Untrue.
The Aggies have shown it. They have shown the ability to wear a lot of teams down, Coach, and that doesn't start in November when the season starts. That starts in the summertime and in prep. And, Coach, I know there's a lot of people that make these things possible, make the season possible. And I know we gave some shout-outs at Wharf Casual Seafood. You could have talked for hours about the amount of people that make this thing possible that you guys are able to pull off.
Right. First, I'll start with my assistant coaches. Coach Patterson, I told you, I don't know how I would make it without him. He does all the logistics. I went up yesterday to the meeting, and
the meeting in Birmingham for all the coaches.
The Final Four coaches session, and it was some guys up there that had to go and do a little paperwork to get to where they needed to be. And I walked up to the table, and the guy said, "Where you from?" I said, Sylacauga High School. He looked at the computer and said, "Go." And that was because of the work that Coach Patterson and Coach Wilkerson had put in. That was one less word for me. And he's just awesome in terms of getting things taken care of.
Did a good job with the JV in ninth grade?
Yes,
the head coach of those teams
exactly.
too?
His ninth grade only lost about 4 basketball games. It's JV. So the future looks bright. Ninth grade, a little bit different, but, it's just stuff that you have to work through. And, of course, Coach Swyman, I talked about him over at the Wharf, how he and I both were thinking alike. He wanted to come help, and out of nowhere, I asked him do you think you can come over and help us out on the varsity level? And it has been nothing but blue skies. This guy, he's young. I told you he's young. He's 6'4".
Big boy.
He's a big guy. And he's worked with Josh inside. He's worked with Tristan. He's worked with Sarian. And worked with guys like Eric O'Neal that plays down low some, Kenson Threet. And he's made a world of difference in those young men. They know what it likes to play against guys that's bigger than they are, or being at a disadvantage. He has put them in those situations, practice after practice, and they've gotten better and better.
Well, he was an outstanding player himself in basketball and football, and a lot of people look at our team coach and they say, well, we don't have much size. We can exploit Sylacauga that way, and then they quickly find out that that's probably not going to happen, don't they?
That's right. I was thinking about us a little bit, and I think about how undersized we are and how we are able to do the things that we do in terms of a basketball team. And it's only because those guys practice so hard. They work so hard, and we don't cheat. We don't take shortcuts. We don't recruit in Sylacauga. We take the guys that walk the hallways every day, and we bring them in, and we make it happen with those guys.
Coach, something a lot of people don't realize is when you took over this program 2 years ago, we were $10,000 in the red. We were basically broke. You got out there and went to about every business in Sylacauga yourself and raised money, and now basketball's in really good financial shape 2 years later. I had a business owner in town tell me that they've never sponsored a Sylacauga high school sport, but they felt like when you showed up and knocked on their door, they felt the need to, and they've sponsored the last 2 years. And I just thought that was really strong. And they just said, look, if a coach is willing to come and visit our business, we're gonna back them.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about what it took to get basketball out of the red and sort of back on decent footing.
Early on, somebody, I can't recall who it was, they said, hey, man, you got to beat the pavement. You got to just go out. I think it may have been you, Mike. You got to go door to door and ask people, tell them, talk to them, introduce yourself, tell them we need their support. And it was some people that didn't, but it was a whole lot of people that did. And, I'm just proud to say that I'm from Sylacauga. I graduated at Sylacauga High School, and the people of Sylacauga have been so supportive. You would not believe how many people right now are standing in line offering to sponsor a meal for these young men. The meal that they're eating today is paid for in full. Wow. Awesome. I'll get the receipt and I'll take it to this person and they'll write a check. And that's just one of the many.
Talk a little bit about the generosity of one of the loyal fans that has really come to you and wanted to sponsor this team, and say what you can about that. You might not can say too much, but you got a local person that just has sort of adopted the team, if you will.
call his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Bill Green.
Bob Green.
Bob Green, I'm sorry. Bob Green has given cash time after time. And on last Thursday when we finished up at the region, was it Tuesday or Tuesday?
Yeah.
On my way to the locker room, Scholar said, "Hey, Coach, here's an envelope." And I won't say exactly how many thousands was in that envelope, but it was a few $1,000s in that envelope. Now, with that being said, he's just a guy, man, that has a gift. He has a gift that not a lot of people have. Giving. It's not something that comes natural to some people.
And he's giving that money to feed the team on the road. And,
yeah. It hadn't went in my pocket, Mike.
Right.
So, these young men have benefited from Bob Green tremendously. I mean, we're gonna go up in style next week. We're gonna go up in a chartered bus, and it's at zero cost to the basketball program. And that's the kind of stuff that it just make you feel good about being from Sylacauga, Alabama, because we have donors, just countless donors that have given and given, and you got to love it, man.
Coach, say just a little bit about Laurie Adderholt. Laurie took over, sort of doing the admin side of your booster club and helping a lot, and just talk about how she kind of helps you navigate that.
Well, you said she took over.
She kind of got involved, early on and helped with all the different.
You had it right.
Yeah.
The things that I did last year, going to businesses.
Yeah, she handled it.
She took care of every bit of it.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing about Laurie. She's not a person that just go half-hearted. She's either all or none.
Yeah. And
she's been all with Sylacauga Aggie basketball and the Booster Club in the fundraiser. She's been dynamic. So I'm glad to have her on my team.
You better believe it.
Well, let's take a quick top-of-the-hour break. We'll have Coach Jones for about 5 more minutes on the other side. We do need to learn a little bit about Guntersville, figure out what those guys are all about. Coach Jones is going to let us in, and then we'll let him get back to dinner with his lovely wife at the table to our left. We'll have Coach Jones for a little bit longer on the other side of this break.
At Toyota of Sylacauga, we treat you like one of our own because you are. I'm Chris Kane, and whether it's your first time or your 10th, we're here to serve you with honesty, care, and the kind of service that keeps your family coming back. From oil changes to new Toyotas, our team is ready to earn your trust every time. Come see why families all over East Central Alabama and beyond choose us every time they buy a car. Toyota of Sylacauga, worth the drive, and we'll prove it. Online at toyotaofsylacauga.com.
Don't let a stubborn wound keep you from living life to the fullest. At Coosa Valley Wound Care Center in Sylacauga, their skilled team specializes in treating chronic and hard-to-heal wounds. They use advanced therapies, including their new hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber, which delivers pure oxygen to help your body heal faster. No referral is needed. Just call 256-872-7777 to schedule your appointment today. Coosa Valley Wound Care Center. Advanced healing close to home.
At AMIA, innovation and sustainability go hand in hand. As a global leader in calcium carbonate production and specialty chemical distribution, AMIA helps make everyday products stronger, cleaner, and better for the world around us. From paper and plastics to construction and beyond, their work supports progress that lasts. AMIA is proud to support growth that respects the earth and strengthens communities. Good luck to all area athletes this season.
Every championship season starts with a game plan. At Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, we believe your financial future deserves a winning playbook. This is Don Carden, President and CEO of Coosa Pines FCU. From checking and savings to loans, our team is ready to help you execute the right plays. When you bank with Coosa Pines, you're not just an account number, you're part of a team. Let's build your financial victory together. Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union, where you belong, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
The Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network is fueled by Allen Oil Company. Fuel for your car, fuel for your body. You're all in with Allen.
Aggie Sports Network, fueled by our friends at Allen Brew Market and Allen Oil Company. We would also like to remind you, Winterboro girls in the Final Four. David McCurley will have that call for you tomorrow. Our cover starts at 11:30 on Mix 106.5 with tip-off set for 12. David McCurley and R.J. Burns in Birmingham for that one, and in Sylacauga, a 4:30 tip-off Wednesday afternoon against the Gunnersville Wildcats, and that's why we have Coach Jones back for one more segment. Coach, you don't get to the Final Four by accident. Everybody who's here has put in a ton of work this year. This is really loaded, feels like a loaded 4 teams here in Class 5A. What do we know about Gunnersville? How do the Aggies, put out a good product against the Wildcats on Wednesday, which we know they will?
We know that Gunnersville is not going to beat themselves. They're going to be methodical. They'll be well coached, and you just have to bring your A game to have a chance to win that basketball game. They're not going to overwhelm us with size. We'll be able to match up with them. And hopefully the plan is for us to be able to be a little bit more athletic and be able to get to the basket on those guys. Hopefully we can press them a little bit, but we won't live and die by the press. If it works, we'll do it. If it doesn't, we'll get out of it.
Yeah, Coach, Gunnersville's 28-5, and out of those 5 losses, most of those are bigger schools. 3 of those losses were to Albertville. They lost to them. It was a good. Max Prep says they're the number 10 team in the state, all classifications. So, good team. And Gunnersville likes to play what people call Bucky ball.
Yes.
Bucky McMillan, who was at Mountain Brook, won a lot of state championships, and now is the head coach at Texas A&M. But Bucky ball is really like fast-paced, full court pressure, and shoot a lot of threes, really. And how do you, when you look at a team that does that, do you change anything about what you do? You lead with defense, so do you defensively? Do you have to think differently about a team like that?
It's a very good question. I talked to our guys today about us being the best version of ourselves. I said, hey, this is what we can control. We can control what we do, when we do it, and how we do it. So it's not so much about don't put too much of your time into watching and trying to scheme, but get yourself defensively sound. Shoot the basketball. Make sure you can shoot the basketball when you need to, and just go and play basketball. So I'm not going to go in trying to cross every T and dot every I about Gunnersville. I'm going to make sure we've done it in terms of our basketball team.
Yeah, they're a team, Coach, that we all know they can knock down shots. They do play bucky ball, but we're also a team that has shown you can knock down shots. Did you think that the Aggies could shoot it as well as they did in Montgomery, and how do you continue that, at least with the mentality to shoot it in a Final Four?
Listen, I heard you guys talk about Corbin Patterson a lot earlier. Listen, we were shooting the ball pretty well before this point. Now he's come around to where he needs to be. And if he stays where he's at, this team, Gunnersville better be worried about us, because we're playing good basketball right now. He's playing confident, and I just like where he's at, along with Eric O'Neal and C.J. Franklin at the guard position. And Joshua Hoseclaw has come in and knocked down shots. So if we can get that kind of production from those guys and Kinson a few more guys off the bench, I think we can play with anybody.
Coach, when you get a big win like you could get Wednesday, who's the first person you're looking for after the game on the sideline?
I always get a big smile from my wife, and if I can get my hands on her, I'll give her a hug. And, most of the time, but it's so many people in here tonight that support Sylacauga basketball. I want to say that Miss Sprayberry is she's a super fan now.
Oh yeah,
along with Pat Burns. Of course that guy. There's no limit to what he can do or will do.
He's got a servant's heart
to support. He's special in so many ways. Known him all my life, and he's just a great friend. And while I have this spot, let me recognize just a few people. This table behind me, I have a first cousin, Al, Jamal, who's a first cousin, his wife, Cynthia. Of course, my wife. My brother, my big brother, his wife, Randy, his wife, Tamika, and my granddaughter over with them family. People probably don't know this, but Eric O'Neill is a third cousin of mine.
Is that right?
And Josh Bill, of course, is my grandson. So I hope I got everybody in that segment right there. Hope I didn't leave anybody out.
I think you got most of your family, Coach. What message do you have for the fans? Do you have a message for the fans going into this big game?
You always measure from one year to the next. And I'm not sure if our fan base has matched the excitement that it did last year in terms of attendance and just being there. This is the thing I like to say to people, don't take things for granted.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of preparation has taken place from the time we left that arena last year up until this point. And when you get to the Final Four, whether you win it or not, it's a big thing, man. It's a big deal. So I would just love for our fans. I'd love to see that fan base just like it was last year. I'm telling you, I couldn't have. You look up there and you see that red, that black, that white, and it's special, man. It's big
like
time,
that.
special.
Yeah, I think you're right, Coach Jones. I don't know if any fan base had as many fans in Birmingham last year as the Aggies did. They took it over, especially in that game against Winona, and still on an early Saturday morning tip against Viger.
One thing I like to say is sit at the table with Winona's coach yesterday, and he tried to put us in the championship game against them, and I'd say, hey, you're getting a little bit ahead right now. But he said that the fan base will be awesome.
Yeah.
And he said Birmingham coming. They'll be there. So, Sylacauga, we want to see you in the stands this year. We want to see your faces. And starting on Wednesday, we need to see them there.
I mean, Jeremy, this guy's 60-6 in 2 years. If you can't get behind that, I don't know what you're going to get behind.
Yeah.
Well, we're behind Coach Jones, and we're going to let Coach Jones get back to dinner. Coach, best of luck on Wednesday against Guntersville. I know everybody here is rooting for you. Thank you so much for your time, Coach.
Thank you guys for all your support and promotion.
Awesome. Thank you. That is Sylacauga head basketball coach Jones. A much-due round of applause for him. We're going to take a quick break. Joshua Holtzclaw signed up to be on the show tonight,
wow.
So we're going to get him with us on the other side of this break. I know a lot of people don't know. Joshua comes in ice cold and just
knocks them down.
And then it knocks down a shot. Coach Jones wants some seniors, too. We'll try to filter some guys through as well. So we'll be back with more of the Final Four tip-off party presented by Toyota Sylacauga on the other side of this break. This is the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network.
Allen Brew Markets is your hometown style for everything you need on the go. From hot coffee and cold drinks to snacks, fuel, and friendly service, we're here to keep you moving forward. Proud to serve our community with convenient locations, Allen Brew Markets isn't just a gas station. We're your neighbor. When it comes to great service and hometown pride, we're all in with Allen.
You're all in with Allen, oh yeah, Allen Brew Markets.
Now is the perfect time to start your future at Central Alabama Community College. CAC's next mini-term begins March 9th, giving you a fast, flexible way to earn college credit or start a new career path. With campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Talladega, and Prattville, CAC offers affordable classes designed to fit your schedule. Don't wait for fall. Get started this spring. Apply online today at cacc.edu. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
When it comes to bones, joints, and sports injuries, trust the expert care of Dr. Anthony Tropiano at Coosa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Dr. Tropiano is known for providing outstanding results with a personal touch, helping patients get back to work, back to sports, and back to life. From advanced surgical care to everyday orthopedic treatment, you're in good hands. Coosa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Do you have scrap metal piling up? Get paid at Coosa Valley Recycling. Serving the Birmingham area and Highway 280 corridor in Sylacauga, Coosa Valley Recycling is your top choice for scrap metal recycling. Whether it's old appliances, car parts, or any other metal items, Coosa Valley Recycling offers great rates and fast, easy service. Recycling with Coosa Valley Recycling not only puts your money back in your pocket, but it also protects the environment. Don't let your scrap metal go to waste. Bring it to Coosa Valley Recycling today. Call 256-245-4300.
Headed to the big game this weekend? Make Allen Brew Markets your first stop. Grab an ice cold drink, fresh snacks, and top off your tank before you hit the road. With quick service and everything you need in one place, we make game days easy. Wherever the road takes you, start with Allen Brew Markets, fueling fans all season long. That's being all in with Allen.
You're all in with Allen, oh yeah, Allen Brew Markets.
If you're tired of wandering around a big box store, get to Van Zant Hardware on Highway 280 in Sylacauga. These folks know their stuff and they know where it is. Need rafters? In stock. Looking for solid 28-foot lumber? They've got it and it's not damaged. For over 50 years, they've been helping home builders, farmers, and everyday folks get the job done right. Van Zant Hardware is a proud supporter of Sylacauga, B.B. Comer, Childersburg, and Fayetteville athletics.
Protect what matters most with State Farm agent Albia Steers in Sylacauga. From auto and home to life insurance, Albia Steers and his dedicated team offer personalized service to ensure you have comprehensive coverage tailored to your needs. As a local agent, Albia Steers understands the unique challenges you face and is committed to guiding you through every step, from quotes to claims. Trust in a neighbor who truly cares. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Albia Steers is there. Call or click for a quote today.
When the temperature drops, your car feels it too. If your heat isn't blowing as warm as it should or your engine's running hotter than normal, you could be low on coolant. Stop by Right Tire and Service for a quick winter checkup. We'll inspect your coolant, tire pressure, battery, and wiper blades, all the things that keep you safe and comfortable in cold weather. Don't get caught unprepared this winter. Get it done the right way at Right Tire and Service on West Fort William Street in Sylacauga.
Central to you, central to your success. Central Alabama Community College, the official video live streaming sponsor of the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network. Online at cacc.edu.
About 15 minutes left in tonight's show before we send the Aggies off to Birmingham for back-to-back Final Four appearances. The Aggies will play Guntersville on 4:30 at Legacy Arena in Birmingham. If you can't make the trip, as Coach Jones mentioned, we want everybody to make the trip. See you in Birmingham. But if you can't, you can listen on Mix 106.5 and watch the Allen Brew Market courtside cam on the Aggie Sports Network Facebook page and the Sylacauga High School Athletics YouTube channel. A big game, Michael, later. We mentioned Sylacauga. This is not the first time they've gone to Final Four. I think it's the third time the Aggies have been to consecutive Final Four, so pretty impressive in the history of this Aggie basketball program. Last year, made it to the state finals, as Coach Joel Jones says. It wasn't an easy offseason with the way things shook out against Viger, but they have done the work to get back to Birmingham. A couple dominant performances in Montgomery against Delmore County and Marbury, and then you had our star physical therapy star player of the game from the Elite Eight win against Marbury. Corbin Patterson, 16 points. Came out a little stale early on offense, and then Corbin knocks down a couple big threes, and the Aggies didn't look back.
No, Corbin's been an outstanding player, football, basketball. He leads with his defense. He usually gets the privilege of guarding their best player. And that's one thing I wanted to ask Corbin is what makes a good defensive player, Corbin? What do you think that you do that, what is it that you do that makes you play defense at your level?
I really just say working hard and just moving my feet and staying disciplined.
Defense is an effort move, right?
Yes, sir.
It just takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, Corbin averages 7 points a game. But a lot of people looked at Corbin early on, especially last year, had some hot shooting nights. But he's going to cover the other team's best player at least most of the night, but he's come in this last month really going back to the Jemison game and the area tournament. Corbin has really shot the lights out, playing very well offensively, and even though he may not get the most points every night, his efficiency really stands out. He shoots a high field goal percentage, around 48%. Corbin Patterson's done very well for the Aggies.
Yeah, he's been banged up too. Corbin, you've had some injuries over the last couple of years. You didn't even play. What was it, your 10th grade year you didn't play?
Sir.
Missed a whole season, so he's had to fight through some of that. And, he's a great athlete. He's probably one of the fastest kids to come through in a while. He can really run. But, Corbin, one thing I wanted to ask you, I always like to ask you guys some questions is, the other night we were at home. I don't know if it was a sub-state or area game, and we won. And Coach Jones, after the game, was out there dancing. What was that dance he did out there?
Oh, it's a dance on TikTok.
That's it.
You just cover your face and then just wave.
I wonder where he learned all that from.
Yeah.
Did y'all teach him that?
I don't know who taught him that.
Did he do it right?
He did.
That's good to know, Corbin. Coach Jones just talked about it. Final Four last year. What does it mean to you to go to back-to-back Final Fours and to see all the hard work that you guys have put in over the last 2 seasons come back to fruition this year with another trip to Birmingham?
It means a lot. We put in a lot of work this season. We overcame a lot of obstacles, and, it just means a lot.
Corbin, if we had a one-on-one tournament with this whole basketball team, who would win that tournament? Who do you feel like would win?
Of course I'm going to say myself. I ain't going to say nobody else.
But other than you, who would you bet on?
If you
I'd probably say Josh because he physical in the paint.
Look at Eric standing up looking at you.
A lot of people don't realize what Josh did defensively. Him and Tristan held a guy that put up 26 and 13 against Clay Central in the Sweet 16. They held him to 5 and 3 in that game. A huge game for the big guys for the Aggies, Josh Spear and Tristan Whetstone. Tristan, what did you learn from last year's Final Four? And I guess mentally for the team, is there anything that you guys are looking to change, or is it just full speed ahead?
Tristan's over there.
Excuse me, Corbin Patterson. Corbin, what did you guys learn from last year for the Final Four as far as preparation goes, getting ready for those games, and has anything changed, or is it just back to business as usual?
Just back to business. Last year we came out slow. We was down 10, but out of halftime we came out hot, so we know what it takes.
Corbin, as this season's gone on, we've blown people out a little more than we kind of thought we would. Who do you feel like's been our toughest opponent all year? Which team sort of stands out in your mind like, I wouldn't want to play those guys again?
Probably Clay Central.
Clay Central, wow. Region opponent.
Yeah, with the Aggies 3-0 against the Volunteers.
They're physical, though, aren't they, Corbin?
Yes, sir.
Beat them in the area championship game. Last year, Coach Jones in his first season taking you to the Final Four. Have you noticed anything different about Coach Jones down the stretch this year getting ready for the Final Four?
He the same, strict, hard, straight to business.
What are his practices like, Corbin?
It's very intense. We're going to get after it. Everything up and down, fast-paced, and we focus a lot on defense.
What about rolling that ball out? What's the hardest drill he does? Is that diving after that loose ball or what? What's the toughest one?
It's probably it's a cone drill. Like you got to pass and run around the cone and keep passing until he feel like you working.
That's the one you dread to see.
That's probably the hardest drill.
I did want to ask you, as a guy who shot the ball really well in a much larger arena at Alabama State, now you're going into an arena with about 18,000 seats in it. How much different is that than playing in your high school gym on a Tuesday or Thursday night versus going to one of these big arenas that you guys are going to play in on Wednesday?
It's going to be a big difference, but I just feel like I got to keep my confidence and just don't let nothing get to me. Just play my game.
Corbin, somebody told me that you're a really good singer. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
What do you sing? What's something that's your go-to?
I really just like singing some songs at my church. Like I'm in the choir. I don't like singing for real. I just
You don't like being in front of people doing all that? Can you give us a line right quick, or we need to pass on?
Don't put him on the spot. Well, Corbin Patterson has played just about as good as anybody in the state of Alabama over the last 3 or 4 ball games, and it's always a pleasure to get to call his games and be a part of the run. Corbin, before we let you go, what's Coach Jones telling you guys as keys to the game? You got a big game. I know he said you guys had a good day of practice. What are some keys that we're looking for against Guntersville?
Just locking down on defense, standing in front of our guys, not letting them get the looks that they want.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Hey, we're going to let you trade that headset with Kenson 3. We're going to let you get back to the dinner table over here where the food is great at Booker's Barbecue, and we're going to talk to Kenson 3. Thank you so much, Corbin.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Man, Corbin doing a great job. He didn't want to be up here. Coach Jones chased down a couple seniors for us, and we were able to talk to Kenson 3 during football season during one of the Coach Smelly shows. And
that's right.
Kenson 3 is kind of an unsung hero for this team. He probably starts every other game. They have a little rotation that goes around depending on some matchups. But Kenson 3 in last year's was it the Selma game or the Montevallo game? He comes off the bench and has a big second half. It was against Selma, and then has a good game against Montevallo. And then this season has really stepped up. If it wasn't for KT, we don't beat Briarwood at home with the defense that he played in the second half of that game. Some big buckets. And then he just gives you a lot of things that don't really show up on the stat sheet, Michael.
Yeah, and he's probably the most improved player on this team, in my opinion.
Yeah, Kenson. So, KT, back-to-back Final Fours. What's that mean to you? You know, I know there's some heartbreak last year, but putting all the work in, getting back this year, what's it mean to Kenson to go back to the Final Four?
It just means a lot. You know, a lot of people don't get to do this, so it just means a lot to all of us.
Kenson, I'm going to ask you the same thing I was asking Corbin. In your mind, who was the toughest team? Do you agree with him on Clay Central, or is there somebody else you would choose that you wouldn't want to play again?
I think it was Briarwood.
Briarwood, yeah. Briarwood, they posed a lot of different threats, and that first time we played them, man, they were hard to deal with, weren't they?
Yeah.
Man. And you talk about Kenson. I mean, defense, we just talked to a great defender, a lot of good defenders on this team, by the way. But, Kenson, your number gets called whether you get the start or you come off the bench. If you come off the bench, you normally do go get the number one guy for the other team. How much pressure is it on you to make sure that you lock down when you hit the floor to play a little defense?
I mean, there ain't no pressure for real. Got to stay real.
Kenson, if you could take one skill from a teammate, which teammate would that be, and what would the skill be? If you could just take any of these guys over here, what would you pick?
Probably Josh.
Physicality?
Yeah, physicality.
Yeah, he's hard to match. You know, this season has taught me that, you know, in basketball you always think size is an advantage, and this team is not blessed with a lot of height, but this team plays taller than they are. And when you got guys that may be 6'1", but they can jump up and touch the top of the square, it's not much different than having a 6'6" guy that can't jump, you know?
Yeah, a lot of these guys can jump out of the gym. We saw CJ trying to get a hammer against Marbury. Yeah, I think they chased him down and found him early. But Kenson, when you're on the floor, okay, and you know things might get a little shaky. I know we didn't lose many games, so things didn't get very shaky. But who's the player on the floor that you want with you to calm everything down and get everything back under wraps?
Probably CJ or Corbin.
Yeah, two big leaders there. You know, I always like to know about Coach Jones, so I've been on a lot of teams, and we always had people on our teams that could sound and be like the coach. So who out of this bunch over here can sound the most like Coach Jones and sort of give you an impression of him?
Josh.
Josh can do it. He can do the Coach Jones. We should have gotten Josh on here to give us one.
He might wait till the season's over
he might need to.
to do that in public. Hopefully that's on, Saturday with the state championship and another blue map coming back to the Marble City. Well, Kenson, man, we really appreciate you. We appreciate this entire basketball team. Congratulations on your run the last couple of years, and regardless of Birmingham's outcome, for Sylacauga, man, this entire community is proud of you guys, so we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Right. Thank you.
Well, that's Kenson 3 joining us right here on the show. A couple more minutes, Michael Adair, as we look ahead to the Guntersville Wildcats. Guntersville, as Coach Joel Jones mentioned, they like to shoot it. He told us off the air that there are some things that you just have to change when you play a team that can shoot it as well as Guntersville, but he did say they might need to be worried about us too with the way that the Aggies are playing right now.
You can rest assured that they're worried about that. They're worried about how their style of play is going to match up against our relentless defense. And, you know, the nice thing about it is we'll get to watch on Wednesday and see how it unfolds.
And that was one question I had for Coach Jones, and I didn't get to ask him, but the Sylacauga style of play, it's so hard to replicate it in practice because they're going to be in your face. They're going to guard you for 94 feet. They're going to hit shots. They're going to get in the press. As a fan and you're watching, it almost looks like chaos, but it's really organized chaos of how these guys play defense and how they turn defensive turnovers and steals into points on the other end.
It is, and it travels well. And you know, if you rely on offense as a team, you can have shots not fall in a day. But when you lean on defense, it's going to show up every day. And you know the way Coach has built this team is really, it's made it perfect for a run like this. So we know the defense is going to show up Wednesday, and if we win, we know it's going to show up Saturday. So We just got to mix that in with some outside shooting like we've done down in Montgomery.
And you mentioned if the Aggies win, they'll play the winner between LaFleur and Winona. I was talking to Coach Patterson early in the year. Winona's had us circled all season. They wanted us to be in the Final Four. Coach Jones just said they've already pegged us in the Final Four, so we're looking forward to that as we're about to wrap things up here.
He wants to get Norman McNeely up here.
Hey, we got all the time
we
in
got
the world.
5 minutes.
If we have the
Let's
radio
go,
right
Norman.
here in front of us. If we want to get somebody on the air with us before we close things out.
There we go.
The team's shouting Jace. I don't know if Jace wants to get up here or not. So
Well, they've already crowned Jace as a team class clown over there, so we'd like to hear from him if he's got something to say.
As we're going to continue the show here at Booker's Barbecue. Remember, Sylacauga and Guntersville at 4:30. On Wednesday, our coverage will start at 3:30 on Mix 106.5 with David McCurley and Michael Gibbs in studio before throwing it to us live at Legacy Arena before we get things started against the Guntersville Wildcats on the Star Physical Therapy tip-off show.
Well, Jeremy, Norman comes from a family that has a lot of good basketball players in it. I know 2 of your brothers were both outstanding players, Fleetwood and Fred, right?
Yes, sir.
As a Sylacauga guy, what's it mean to see Coach Jones and this Aggie team go on this run that they've gone on for the last couple of years?
It meant a lot because the 2 teams from last year and this year remind me of my junior and senior year. Our record was about identical, and we did the same thing.
That must have been late 80s.
81, 82.
Oh, 81, 82. Is that John Hand in there, too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, so you talk about the history of Sylacauga basketball. He's on some of those teams. So were you guys Final Four back-to-back years, or what did that look like for y'all?
Yeah, the first year we went to Final Four, and we lost the first game to Leeds.
Charles Barkley.
Yes, sir. Second year, we made it to the final and lost to Russellville.
So on your team, who got challenged with guarding Charles Barkley?
Troy Mars.
Troy, did he lock him up pretty good?
Killed him.
Did he really? How many did Charles score in that game, bro?
I can't remember.
Okay. Wow.
There was a rumor that Charles Barkley was going to be here tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess he didn't make it.
So that's I don't know if Coach Langham was playing a prank on us or not, but that would have been pretty cool to have in house. As this Sylacauga, there's so much history in Sylacauga basketball, Norman, from your teams to the '88 state championship team to pretty much the entire time Coach Jones has been a part of this program. They've been pretty daggum good. What would it mean for, as an Aggie guy to see this team lift the blue map on Saturday?
Since the last time they done it, it'll be great. Because, at the time I wish I could have lifted it, but
you got close.
Got close.
Charles put you out, right?
The first time he did.
Yeah.
Second time,
y'all beat him.
Different story.
Wow. What do you think about the job Coach Jones has done? What do you have to say about Coach?
He's done a remarkable job because he's been around basketball for a long time. He sat on the bench when I was playing.
Assistant coach for Coach Martin, I guess?
Yeah, he knew it all.
Yeah.
He worked with us, and, he used to tell us when we did stuff wrong, what to do right. Well, see, now he can't tell me that, but I'll tell him.
He's standing behind you saying he still might.
Well, no, we're all super proud of Coach Jones and everything. And again, this is not just about this team. This team has been phenomenal, but they're part of the history of Sylacauga basketball and tons of teams that were deserving to win a state championship, even if they didn't. This is an illustrious program that has a chance to do what very few teams have done, is making consecutive Final Fours and the potential to win a state championship.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell us what you're doing now. What have you done since getting out of high school, and do you live here in Sylacauga?
Yes, when I left high school, I went in the military and retired after 22 years.
Awesome.
So now I just sit around, watch basketball, or do whatever I need to do with the people.
I like it.
Living the life. Prediction for the Guntersville game, Norman. Don't make Coach mad, but you can give us an honest one.
I think he should beat them by 10.
I like that.
All right.
I'll take it.
Hey, I will take it. An Aggie 10-point win means we're playing on Saturday for the chance to lift the state championship trophy, so we're super excited about it. Norman, Thank you so much for dropping in with us, man. We
All righty.
appreciate it.
Appreciate
the support.
All right.
That is going to wrap up today's Final Four tip-off party with Sylacauga going to Birmingham on Wednesday. Tip-off against the Guntersville Wildcats at 4:30. Our coverage will start at 3:30 on Mix 106.5, and our live broadcast live from Legacy Arena will start at 4:20 with the Star Physical Therapy tip-off show. Again, want to thank Booker's Barbecue for a great dinner, feeding everybody tonight. Want to thank Toyota of Sylacauga, Coosa Valley Medical Center, and Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union for bringing you Final Four coverage on the Aggie Sports Network. And also a reminder, tomorrow at 12, Winterboro girls in the Final Four on Mix 106.5.
I wonder if we've ever had two state champion teams out of Talladega County in the same year.
We'll have to do a little research, but I know Coach Rebecca
year.
Williams has her team geared up and ready to go. David McCurley and R.J. Burns with the call on Mix 106.5. From Jeremy Law and Michael Adair, this has been a product of Radio Alabama and Sylacauga Athletics. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone.
This has been the Aggie Sports Network Tip-Off Party presented by Toyota of Sylacauga on the Coosa Pines Federal Credit Union Aggie Sports Network. Sylacauga will face Guntersville Wednesday at 4.